Reactions Matter by David W. Searcy, Jr. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share the video. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the content.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to YouTube World. Welcome to the David Searcy 621 channel. What? If you're new here and you like what you see, drop a comment, hit the subscribe button, like the video, did I say that? And share it to everybody you know. I'm trying to grow a channel. We're going to react to all kinds of stuff here. We're going to see what's going on in the world of YouTube. We did look at 20 unusual facts about the female body. So today we're going to look at 20 unusual, unbelievable facts about the male body. I think I know everything about the male body. What do you think? Do you know everything about the male body? If you're a male, do you know everything about your body? If you're a female, do you think you know everything about the male body? Well, let's dive in.
Hi, today we will talk about the aspects of a male's body. That's straight up 20 hard to believe facts that you might have never heard about before. A lot of people feel like they know everything about themselves and people around. If you feel the same way, just watch this video and you'll see that you were wrong. We'll talk about dreams and aging process and a bunch of other interesting stuff. Men eat twice as much around women. This may seem a little strange, but it's a fact. When a man sits next to a woman, he eats about twice as much as he usually does. Cornell University scientists did a study and found out that men eat 93% more pizza and 86% more salad when they're with women. They would never eat as much in a guy's company. The reason for such behavior is not clear. Nobody seems to know what makes men act this way. Some people say that it's a kind of way for men to impress women. After all, eating a lot is impressive, isn't it? Since we're talking about nutrition now, let's also mention excess weight. Science.
Wait. Let's go back. Hold on. Do you eat more around women? I may have at one time in my life, but I don't know if I do anymore. I gotta fix my camera setup because, look, you see the glare in my eyeballs. See, it's even more that way. I have to go way down here. But then I'm not looking at the camera. I have to look at the camera over here. Anyway, alright, so anyway, back to the... Leave some comments, guys. Tell me how to set up my dang studio here. Help your boy out. I know I can do it. Salad, well, that's salad. First of all, there's no substance to it. So you're going to eat more salad because there's nothing there but lettuce and tomato, some ranch dressing. But if you... And pizza... Alright, hold on. Wait a minute. Are we talking about thick crust pizza or are we talking about thin crust pizza? Because if it's thick crust pizza, you're just going to eat till you blow up. But if it's thin crust pizza, that shit don't fill you up hardly at all. You can eat way more of that stuff. So, thin crust or thick crust? Are they talking about thin crust? Are they talking about thin crust or thick crust pizza? Or both? I don't know. Let's go.
Since we're talking about nutrition now, let's also mention excess weight. Scientists know that it's easier for men.
Now this right here, hold on, they're already showing the waistline. That's definitely where all my shit goes, to my hips. I used to wear 36 pants. I'm to a 34 right now.
Men to lose weight due to higher testosterone level. which speed up the metabolism. Also, men usually have more muscles, and that mass requires additional energy, so the calories are stored in the body for later. Yet, many men gain excess weight despite this natural advantage. What's interesting is that excess fat gets distributed differently in women than in men. Yet, many men gain excess weight despite this natural advantage. Men usually have more muscles, and that mass requires additional energy, so the calories are stored in the body for later. Yet, many men gain excess weight despite this natural advantage. What's interesting is that excess fat gets distributed differently in women than in men. For women, most of their excess fat goes right under the skin, in thighs and buttocks. With men, it is mainly deposited in the abdominal cavity. That's why there are much more guys with bellies. A big belly is typical for almost any man. But what really unites all the guys is the Adam's apple.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever thought about the purpose of the Adam's apple? And why is it that men's Adam's apple is more sort of protruding? It looks weird, but it actually has a purpose. It protects males' vocal cords. The thyroid cartilage is also responsible for the pitch of the voice. In teenage years, it changes its angle, forming an Adam's apple, and changing the voice, sometimes pretty erratically. For men, this angle is smaller than for women, and so they have a larger protrusion and a lower voice.
Lower voice.
One of the most surprising facts about men is that they are girls in their mother's womb from the start. It's true that all people on the planet begin their existence as women.
Okay, true story. I got 1.5 sons. I really say I got 2, because I was kind of there since birth, but I haven't seen him since he was 6. Nonetheless, when Nick was in his mother's womb, and we were not very long away from birth, we went in and had an ultrasound, and that nurse swore to me that Nick was going to be a girl. Well, I looked her dead in her face and I said, nope, he is a boy. And well, he became a boy. So this is very interesting. I did not know that. Did you know that? That you start out as a girl in your mother's womb?
True that all people on the planet begin their existence as women. The X and Y chromosomes determine our sex. If 2 X chromosomes juxtapose, then a girl will be born, and if X chromosomes meet Y chromosome, then it's a boy. However, it takes about 5 to 6 weeks to activate the Y chromosome. So until then, we are all basically female.
Wow.
Did you know
Okay, now I'm really curious, people.
Nubia does permanent dental implants in only 24 hours?
Instead of placing you in temporary...
I need dental implants. Let's not get it confused real quick. Like, okay. Is that the confusion? Is that the reason people are confused nowadays? Why they think that they're supposed to be a man or a woman when they're the other? Because they started out as a woman? Well, what about the women? They started out as women. So everybody started out as a woman. Everybody started out as a woman for the first 5 weeks. He just said that. I wonder if that's scientifically proven. I need some responses. Anybody know about this? Aging. Oh, here we go. I'm about to turn 50. 6 months tomorrow.
Aging. Scientists found out that men age slower than women. A man's face looks younger for longer than a woman's face. This is due to the fact that men's skin loses its collagen density slower. This makes them more resistant to wrinkles, sagging, and other, not the most pleasant looking aspects of aging. But most women still look younger than men. For example, a 40-year-old man can look a few years older his age, and a 40-year-old woman can look much younger. This is because men care less about their skin than women, and that's why most men and women usually look the same age. Although, of course, there are many exceptions, and some people look very young, while others look really old. By the way, men and women have different kinds of skin. at least when it comes to thickness.
I got ID'd up until I was 40. Like, just think about that.
Testosterone is a kind of hormone that's responsible for the thickening of a man's skin. Since it's a male hormone, man's skin is about 25% thicker than women's. At least that's what scientists say. It's a good advantage, but only for some time. Man's skin gets thinner throughout their life, while women's skin remains the same up until they reach their menopause, which usually happens when they reach the age of 50. Alopecia. All we know is that alopecia is a kind of genetically transmitted thing, and it only transmits through the maternal X chromosomes. But this may not be entirely true. There are other factors. For example, if a man's father is bald, then his own tendency increases by 60%. Male hormones also affect their hair follicles in such a way that the skin slowly loses its ability to create new hair. It is very unfortunate when people lose their hair.
So, is that psychological? Is it because you think you're going to be like your dad, so you're going to lose your hair?
Nightmares. University of Montreal in Canada did a very interesting study. They listened to over 10,000 dream stories and found slight difference between men's and women's nightmares. Men dream about war more often than women. They also see more disasters like earthquakes and floods. Women, on their part, dream about trouble in relationships twice as often. And this isn't the only difference men and women have when it comes to dreams. It's been established that men sleep better than women. The male's brain activity drops by 70% during sleep, while the female brain decreases its activity only by 10%. Scientists believe there are historical reasons for that, because in ancient times men were hunters. They needed to gain as much strength as they could during sleep. Women, on the other hand, were gatherers. They focused their energy on children. And here's the last thing about sleep. Turns out that men snore much more often than women. This is because men have more fat in their abdomen. According to the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, about 40% of men snore, while with women this number revolves around 24%. And we have more interesting facts up ahead, you guys. There are many interesting things that can make you think and look at...
Snoring. So, I don't know, I went to jail one time for 45 days, and there was this guy that snored all the time. And he kept us all up. There's a whole bunch of us in there. So one day, I decided that I was going to do the clap on, clap off, just to see if I could get him to stop snoring. Because a lot of times, if you say a person's name when they're snoring, then they'll quit, right? So... he's snoring, and I clapped. I went, and he stopped. And I thought, well, that's kind of funny. So I clapped again, and he began to snore again. So I'm in the top bunk, and there were some, people to my right and left. And I told him to watch this, and I proceeded to do this for about 5 minutes. I'll say 5 minutes. It probably was longer than that, but I clapped on and clapped off his snoring. Oh, shit. Oh, do you snore? I snore when I'm super extremely tired, but other than that, no snoring.
Men in a different way. Don't go anywhere, and you'll find out about many similarities between men and women. We'll also talk about some differences, like differences in communication, and also why men are inferior to women when it comes to senses.
Senses? Yeah, because they're
Lactation.
made for that.
People believe that human ability to produce breast milk is a task entrusted solely to women. It's true for the most part. Although science knows a few cases of male lactation, yes, some men's bodies are capable of producing breast milk. Although, this is a kind of exception from the rule thing. This sometimes happens because of the prolactin hormone, the one which levels can increase with the use of drugs that stimulate the heart. Also because of pituitary dysfunction and hypothalamus, extreme starvation, and a bunch of other factors. Premenstrual syndrome. Apart from lactation, some men have premenstrual syndrome, more commonly known as PMS. I don't even know which of these feminine features is more surprising and weird when they manifest themselves in men, but we can definitely say that a male's PMS is more common than a male's lactation. About 26% of men have similar symptoms. During this period, a man becomes more sensitive and irritable. He often feels hungry and suffers from belly cramps. In general, for the most part, women feel sort of the same way. Aggression. It's not a secret at all that men are fairly more hot-headed than women, but not many people know the reason behind this fact. And again, it all boils down to high levels of testosterone, which in its turn affects amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for emotions. Men are mostly aggressive between the ages of 17 and 28, when the blood is boiling with testosterone. Although this mechanism also works the other way around. Scientists from Nipissing University in Canada found out that aggressive behavior increases the levels of testosterone. Brain. A male's brain is larger than a female brain by something like 8 to 13%. This may seem like an unpleasant fact to some women. They might even find this claim rude, but there's nothing wrong with it. First of all, men are generally larger than women. Second of all, our brain size has nothing to do with our mental capacity. Just because guys' brains are bigger, it doesn't mean they are smarter. Size doesn't matter in this case. Our ancestors' brains were also bigger than ours, but we don't want to compare our mental abilities to theirs. Also, some parts of women's brains are actually larger. For example, the right frontal pole, the middle, inferior frontal gyri, and the triangular parts are larger, while male have bigger amygdala, hippocampus, and cingulate gyrus. But these physical differences have nothing to do with our mental capacity. Anyway, there is no proper scientific data on this issue. Okay, now that we know that brain size doesn't matter, let's talk about communication. If you want to understand men and women relationships better, don't go away and keep watching. Men only use half of their brain when it comes to communication, leaving space for secondary tasks. It is for this reason that men love clarity and preciseness when it comes to conversations. Women on their part use all mental resources that are available to them. They don't pay attention to anything else. They are typically a lot more emotional and they pay close attention to details.
Details. Men focus on the big picture and women focus on everything inside that picture. Like, we just want to cut to the chase, get it done. Let's rock and roll, go on to the next thing. While women will notice every little detail and then talk about it. Which is, don't get me wrong, because there's a lot of information inside of a woman's brain. A lot of information. Alright.
Senses. Did you know that men have weaker sense of taste and smell? The thing is, in ancient times men were hunters and women were gatherers. Taste and smell don't play a big role in tracking down and killing animals. But at home, those are something that women relied on for many years. And even though the modern world is totally different from what it was thousands of years ago, some things never changed since then. That's all for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Remember to press the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay tuned for more interesting stuff.
So, what did we learn today? We learned men eat more when they're with the woman.
Hi, Frank George here. This is the EMS foot massager. EMS is electrical muscle stimulation.
Nobody really cares about that. So there you go. 20 unbelievable facts about the man's body. They all pertain to me. I don't really eat. I probably do. I don't know. Did I eat more when I was with a woman? I know my gut is always bigger than the rest of my body. Alright, well there you go. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, leave a comment.